Do you love Tekken? Do you love Nintendo? Well, wouldn't it be awesome if we combine these two things to possibly make an awesome retro NES game?
You've got to be kidding.
Oh, what do you know, terrible Zelda game? Besides, we don't have to wait for it, it's already been around for 20 years. So let's not waste time and get right into it. For starters, it gives you the option to either play solo, versus mode with a second player, and set the difficulty between easy, normal, and hard. It's got that secret title from Tekken 2, and if you wait about 10 seconds, it shows you the Kazuya cutscene from Tekken 1. It's in a choppy frame-by-frame animation, but I don't think it looks bad at all for an NES game. You then get a quick demo fight between Heihachi and Nina, where, as you can tell, aside from the basic punches and kicks, it looks like they implemented some of the fighter's signature moves as well. After the fight, we're sent back to the title screen and we begin the game. And look at that! We actually get quite a number of fighters to choose from. There's Wang, Heihachi, Michelle, Nina, King, Paul, Kazuya, Law. Well, so much for having quite a number of many fighters. The row of characters from the bottom are the same ones as the top. Is there a difference between the top and the bottom? No, so you actually get 8 fighters to choose from and not 16. The character select sprites come from the Tekken game, and all the basic fighters are here except for Jack and Yoshimitsu. Instead, they're replaced with secret characters Heihachi Mishima and Wang Jinrei. Most likely, I don't know, because the NES does have a limit of memory and sprite size. Jack and Yoshi's sprites are more complex, with one having a sword and the other being a giant fucking robot. So we choose our fighter and let's start the battle. As you can see, aside from the character sprites, the stages are also based on the original titles. Now, I don't say this with sarcasm, it's impressive the way they look. But the stages from Tekken 1, why didn't they just name the game Tekken? Is it because part 2 was better than the first one and they figured it would grab more people's attention? The controls function properly as well. Down ducks, left and right move you in that direction, and up makes you jump like you're on the moon, just like the originals. You can dash forward or backwards by double tapping left or right, which is very helpful when you want to avoid an enemy's long range attacks or close in on your opponent. There's 2 buttons to your right, an A and a B, which are used for punching and kicking. Simple, right? Now, how do I do their signature moves? I know it's possible because the CPU did it in the opening demo. It's not gonna be as simple as Tekken Advance, of course, where all you had to do was repeatedly press A and B in a certain combination to do moves. We're dealing with the NES here. So what's the secret? Well, if you played Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, then you know where this is going already. Before Street Fighter Cross Tekken, this game, Tekken 2 for the NES, uses special moves by inputting Street Fighter combos. Each character has 4 moves, but share the same button input. You have down to front A and down to front B, 2 different moves like if you're performing a Hadouken. Down A and holding B before pressing A. Some moves do more damage than others, some just love their signatures a little too much. And some have shitty accuracy. If you do pick a fighter who misses their opponent a lot like Paul or Kazuya, you can still pass the game with basic kicks and punches. Just know you got a timer, so unless you want to stay on the defensive all day while your opponent bombards you with their moves, I suggest pick a good character and spam the shit out of their moves. Just like the real Tekken games, you have to defeat an opponent twice to move on to the next fighter, but after each win you get this. The same win poses from Tekken 1, except the PlayStations were animated. The goal of the game is to defeat every single opponent on the select screen, yes, including the duplicates. Once you defeat all 16 fighters, you'll no longer view the character select screen. Instead, a fight starts right after your win pose. It looks normal, but as soon as you defeat your first opponent, a second fighter falls from the sky. You'll have to defeat 2 opponents, one right after the other, with the same health, meaning you don't recuperate from any damage that was dealt to you by your first opponent. At least you only have to defeat both fighters once before you move on to the next opponent, but once you successfully win 4 of these handicap stages, the game ends and your reward for an ending is everyone's win pose. You get Heihachi, you get Nina, Law, Kazuyas. See, the game's not perfect. They even left a typo in the game, so let me fix that. There, fixed. Paul, King, Michelle, and Wang. We get sent back to the title screen, and that's it. Next, we have 2-player versus mode, where you'll find it's the same as 1-player mode, except here you're returned to the character select screen after 1 win instead of 2. Well, I couldn't get anyone to play this crap. Okay, I just have no friends, fuck it. So I'll be playing by myself. Few things I found in versus mode is that if the time reaches 0 after both players have reached the same amount of health, they both fall and are returned to fight again. Even if one of you has less health than the other one, the one with the less health loses, falls to the ground, and the game still returns you to the same fight. Only by draining your opponent's health will you be returned to the character select screen. So if you want to keep on playing as the same fighter, just waste time and act the fool till the clock runs out. Well, unless you keep jumping, in that case, you know, don't stop and you won't lose, right? Yeah, see, if you stop jumping, you'll lose. So just keep on jumping and you won't lose. Alright, fuck it. Only when the game wants, I guess. The only way to return to the main menu again is to reset and... Okay. That looks like a new game. Well, it turns out it's just a new title screen. Maybe it says Tekken in Japanese? No. I thought I was gonna play a different game, but nope. It's still Tekken 2, just with the title to Battle Arena Toshiden. Those are the only 2 modes on the game. The game's not bad, it's fun for a while, but then you remember that you can play a real Tekken game instead. They got their clothes right, half the fighters use their original attire, while the other half use their secondary outfit. If you fight against the same character you picked, the clothes stay the same, but the color changes. As for the chiptone music, it's okay, but it's nothing worth praising. Like, I don't know if it's supposed to be an 8-bit version of the original Tekken soundtrack, but if you try hard enough, maybe you can kind of hear some of the similarities, but I wouldn't be the best judge for that. Overall, it's an okay game. Try it if you're curious, but don't be surprised if you get tired of it quick. Next up, Tekken 3 for the NES. Now, it may look familiar, but that's because it is. Just by looking at it, I feel it's gonna be worse than the last one. Well, it's got the same music and design, just a little glitchy when you pass by different characters. Since I already used Heihachi in Tekken 2, let's switch it up. Oh, I'm sorry. The game must have restarted and jumped to the demo because I'm pretty sure it said King versus Michelle and not Heihachi versus Nina. Well, I kind of should have known by the funny looking 3 on the title that something would be funny about this game. But it's, I don't know. I mean, I already feel like it's gonna, like I said, it was gonna be terrible, so let's just continue playing. Let's see what happens. Win. Thank you. You make this fight worth the struggle. No need to make an effort like this. Something cheap is just as fine. Now, as great a game as this is, I kind of want to stop here. I don't even want to take the time to get to know this game. It's not hard. It's just bleh, you know? But I do want to see how the game ends. So I'm just gonna defeat everyone as quickly as possible. Now, as you already know, instead of playing as King, I'm playing as Heihachi. The reason for this? King isn't in the game. Neither is Michelle or Law. They're replaced by Nina and Paul. So while I have to fight a few characters twice, I have to fight 4 Heihachis, 4 Ninas, and 4 Pauls as well. Plus, I still had to fight the 4 handicap matches at the end. I defeat the last 2 and... win. That's it. Now, based on all of that, which one would you rather play? When you make a sequel, even if it's a bootleg of a bootleg, you're supposed to fix the glitches, not make them worse. Or who knows, maybe, maybe Tekken 3 came out first, and Tekken 2 was the improved game. Who knows? My suggestion though, don't play this one. You may be wondering, is there anything else we should know about this game? Well, funny you should ask. I don't know. Because I'm not going to continue playing this crap. It's not worth it. Changing to another system, Tekken 3 Special for the Sega Genesis. The title looks a lot better than the NES one, a lot closer to the PlayStation games. The options menu also has the PlayStation style, giving you the decision to change difficulty, rounds, time, and roll. Whatever the hell that means. The character select screen is designed like Tekken 2, as well as the fighters' faces, even though the title reads Tekken 3. Have you noticed a pattern here, how all the games I've covered so far are titled after the sequel of the game it's supposed to actually be? You got 8 fighters to choose from. Kazuya, Lee, Paul, Jun, Yoshimitsu, hey, he's back, Heihachi, Nina, and Law. Picking Kazuya, let's start. Well, the first issue, no music. Oh wait, my bad, it does have music. Okay, it just took a while. So the D-pad hasn't changed. Up to jump, down to duck, and left and right for movement. The C button kicks, the B button punches, and the A button blocks, though it took me quite a while to figure that out. Upon first playing this game, I got my ass kicked. Why? Well, where do I begin? Seeing this for the first time, I'm thinking I'm in for a pretty good game. It looks nice. But don't let that virtual fighter look fool you. Aside from the movement being slow, the attack button combinations sometimes don't work. The A button only blocks half the time, and the CPU attacks constantly. It knows all the attacks and it performs them smoothly. Not only do they use signature combos like the real Tekken games, some now have sonic booms, fire kicks, and other projectiles that you expect from a Street Fighter game. I swear, no matter who I pick, they all kick my ass. I try lowering the difficulty, and I still get my ass kicked. Maybe if I can perform the special moves, I may have a fighting chance here, but I don't know how to do them. It's not as easy as the NES version to figure out. Each character has a different way of performing their moves. Well, after playing for about an hour, I kind of figured out a few by button mashing, you know. I mean, but they're still kind of difficult. Well, I wouldn't say difficult to perform, but it's just difficult to figure some of them out. Some can be forward kick, others back kick punch, back punch and kick at the same time. They're all different. It's not like a Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter where it just boom, it hits the brain and you know how to perform it. But besides that, besides all that, the control, which is the key to a good game, it sucks balls. When I said it only blocks half the time, again, getting my ass kicked for a while, I figured out there's a few attacks that allows your opponents to bypass the block and deal an attack to you. There are also times that holding the block won't work. You can see the little animation when he gets in a block stance, and sometimes it's irresponsive. Same has happened with the punch and kick. Worthless. Well, I'm stuck in stage 1 and I know I'm not going anywhere. Oh, did I forget to mention that after some time of getting my ass kicked, I figured something out? I came across a secret weapon. It wasn't more strength, it wasn't special moves, or even a cheat. Though the move does feel kind of cheap if you're going to use it to win. How did I advance? That's right, punching. Anything else would get countered or miss the attack, leaving me wide open. But once I tap the punch button repeatedly, that's it. What a lame way to win, at least in my opinion. I mean, obviously I ain't having fun if all I'm doing is punching to advance the game. The only reason I played this long is to at least check out the ending, because if it were up to me, I would have quit the first 5 minutes, no joke. This game pissed me off after only having 3 battles. I want to actually feel like I may win, but all my efforts were in vain. So I feel no remorse for winning this way actually. It does feel cheap, but I don't feel bad. We defeat the fighters in stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8. Are you ready for the ending? So how'd you guys enjoy that ending? Sure, the NES Tekken 3's ending sucked, but it wasn't hard to complete. This game adds insult to injury with it. Back to the title screen, you got 2-player mode right here, which I suggest trying to get some practice with a character, but why waste your time? Sure, this one looks prettier than the NES version, but the NES version played better, and I had fun with it. Looks like they got it wrong after all. Genesis don't when Nintendo does.
I'm crazy uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'm kidding, that's a terrible joke. But in all honesty, I would rather play E.T. for the Atari 2600 than Tekken 3 Special. That is no joke. But yeah, stay away from this game. So last one, Tekken 2 for the SNES. Let me guess, we're gonna be playing the same game, huh? Oh yeah, right down to the options menu, except this one does look a little better. Well, let's start the game. Oh, awesome, more glitches. Oh no, wait, my bad. That wasn't a glitch, it was just highlighting nobody. That's all. Whoa, this one you get 6 fighters. Lee, Jun, Kazuya, Yoshimitsu, Heihachi, and Paul. So no Nina Williams or Martial Law. Yes, 2 less fighters than the Genesis, but what matters is the gameplay. So let's see how this plays out. Ah yes, just what I expect from a fine bootleg. Again, I tried again. Select a different fighter this time. Again, no names on the versus screen, and it glitches out once more. Also, the characters I selected were Lee, not Paul and Heihachi. So is the arcade mode just glitchy and unplayable? Probably. Well, let's try 2-player versus mode. Oh, well, it seems okay. Yeah, I would like to take back my previous statement and say that it is actually not okay. Well, it's showing a face, that's a good sign, right? But it doesn't matter, the results will end the same with Paul and Heihachi never showing up. So what is it? Did I just get a bad ROM? Do I need to use a different emulator? Well, after trying a few ROMs and different emulators, I couldn't get one to work. I even tried playing the ones that have the game on the website, and it's the same crap. There have been a few people on YouTube to review or upload a gameplay of it, so there should be a working one out there, or they fixed it themselves. In any case, I can't do anything about it, so if you want to see gameplay for it, check it out on YouTube. Well, I'm done with these bootlegs. If I was to choose, Tekken 2 for the NES was the best one of the bunch. The moves aren't hard to figure out, gameplay is easy and I had a little fun with it. In reality, I just had to decide between the Sega game or the NES Tekken 2, since Tekken 3 is the same version of Tekken 2, just glitchier, and the SNES didn't even work. I've said that the first Tekken game for the PS1 is my least favorite in the series. Well, these bootleg games make me appreciate the first game. The music, the characters, the unlockables, everything. So here we are at the end of the video. I want to give a special thanks to you guys for watching it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I also want to give a special thanks to Bulby for allowing the use of his chiptune remixes. I'm sure most of you can tell just from hearing it, this is from the opening of Tekken 2, Black Winter Night Sky in 8-bit. He also has great remixes on his channel, so go check it out at youtube.com/Bulby. Now it's been about half a year since my last real gameplay review. I was in the process of reviewing Tekken 5 and I still have all the work that's been done on it. I've gotten all the recordings and a little more than 3/4 of the script is done. However, I also want to cover Tekken Dark Resurrection and try to fit it in the same video. Also, other things have slowed me down, they've gotten in my way, but I do apologize for taking so long. I'm gonna get back to working on it, but while you wait, check out my other videos from the series. We got Tekken 4 over here, there's Tekken 3 right there, Tekken 2, the real Tekken 2 for the PlayStation 1, and the first review I started with, Tekken 1. I also did Tekken Tag Tournament, but I ran out of room, so it'll be in the description. Thanks again for watching.